Welcome to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. Well, folks, we got a big week ahead. It is the week of the FOMC meeting and announcements from the Fed. So we're going to hear from Jerome Powell. Will they keep rates as is? Or will they start cutting, or will they give a hint as to when they may start cutting? Now, my personal take is I think they're going to keep rates as is. They're going to maintain their current level. I think cuts come later in the year, in the second half of the year. And now I could be entirely wrong, and many other analysts who are predicting the same thing, which is the majority, could be wrong as well. But as always, expect volatility. There's usually heavy volatility the week of any type of FOMC announcement or meeting. And we're also going to get jobs report, unemployment data, and much more. So guys, it's probably going to be really choppy this week. So just be prepared for that. Now, as far as Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin has some ways to go downwards. That is not upwards right now. This is from the micro. Macro, you guys know I'm bullish. I've been talking about we're headed to new all-time highs. I think this year we break a new all-time high, which is about 80K. And then in 2025, we see the blow off top new all-time high. I think certainly Bitcoin crosses six figures this time around. Not a guarantee, of course. I want to make sure I say that because people think, oh, you have a crystal ball. You know what's going to happen. No, I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm forming a thesis based on the facts, not my emotions or what I want to see. If it's my emotions, I'll say Bitcoin's going to $500,000 or $1 million because that's what I want. But it's not about what I want. It's about what are the charts, the fundamentals, and all these things telling us. So I think right now Bitcoin is in a downward trend despite the pop up we saw recently. It may go to 45K, but then I think it ultimately goes down to find support at 35K. It may go below 35 to about 30. At which point I have buy orders at 30, 33, and 35. I don't know if those get fulfilled. Maybe 35 gets fulfilled. But my point is, understand the market cycles from the micro and macro standpoint. Markets don't go up in a straight line, right? They have to correct along the way up, build support levels, and then bounce. That's actually healthy. It helps us to go to higher prices. And when you understand the psychology of the markets, when you understand the technicals, it really, really helps. So, like I said, I'm expecting Bitcoin to go further down. Alts will pull as well. Buying opportunity, dollar cost average. Not financial advice. Please do your own research. So that's what I'm looking at. And like I said, I have my buy orders set for those price targets. Here's some other data that supports that. The NASDAQ stock market, right, pulling back a bit. We're seeing some red candles form here. The S&P 500 as well. We got the DXY is consolidating, so it's just moving sideways. That's not entirely great for assets. We need the DXY to go down, right? When the DXY is moving downwards, assets pump. When the DXY is pumping, assets go down. So we are in a week of volatility with the FOMC meeting. So that's fine. Let it go down. I want it to be done. Maybe this will be done in 2 weeks. And like I said, guys, opportunity to certainly buy in. Here, one analyst, Matthew Hyland, highlighted that bulls successfully defended the Bitcoin weekly close. However, the caveat, direction still has yet to be decided. So regardless of this close looking good, we still have the bearish scenario that this thing can go down. So just be careful out there. And like I said, if you're looking at a buying opportunity, put your buy orders in and have a macro outlook. And speaking of macro and bullish news, folks, analysts predict Charles Schwab will eventually offer its own Bitcoin ETF. To my OG subscribers and listeners, if you've been with me since 2018, we've talked about Charles Schwab, E-Trade, and all these guys on Wall Street would eventually capitulate and offer crypto services. It's amazing to see this unfold right before our eyes, right? This is why you got to have the macro long-term outlook. If you don't know who Charles Schwab is as a company, they're a financial services company, of course. They have $7.13 trillion of assets under management. Really big, right, folks? So here's what the folks at Bloomberg are saying about Charles Schwab. As Fidelity's spot Bitcoin ETF battles with BlackRock's offering for the top slot and Vanguard shies away from crypto altogether, multi-trillion dollar asset manager Charles Schwab has so far staked out a centrist position. Schwab customers are able to buy shares in all approved Bitcoin spot ETFs, but Charles Schwab has yet to create a proprietary offering. However, that may soon change in the future. Experts predict as Schwab weighs the advantage of moving second in a field where other entrants rush to be the first. The customers, here's a quote, the customers are so loyal and products are so cheap, they don't have to be in any rush. Rain or shine, the flows come in. Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas told RIA Biz. Balchunas speculated that Schwab's delay may allow the firm to offer lower fees than its competitors. Here's a quote, they may shock the world and offer something that is 10 basis points in a few months, he said. That would be a really low fee because Bitwise Asset Management, they currently have the lowest, I think at 0.23 or something like that. So we're seeing game theory, competition play out here, which is really good for investors and the consumers, right? Competition is healthy, capitalism playing out here. I love it. And more capital to, if they launch their own ETF, more capital will flow into Bitcoin. And we know these spot ETFs, they have to hold a physical Bitcoin. So very bullish for the macro view of the markets. And folks, once the Bitcoin ETF is matured and fully up and running, I think we will see Ethereum and other altcoin ETFs come into the market. By that time, Gary Gensler will be kicked out of office, I believe. And Congress hopefully has passed some regulations and we have clarity, but bullish times ahead. Crawl, walk, run. It doesn't start at the run phase. It has to start at the crawl phase, folks. And we are seeing incredible inflows into these ETFs. Now, if you go to Charles Schwab's website, they have under their accounts and products page a cryptocurrency investment page where they point you to Grayscale's different altcoin trusts. They also highlight Bitwise's 10 crypto index fund, and they highlight cryptocurrency stocks like Coinbase, MicroStrategy. They highlight, a lot of educational content such as what is crypto, what are popular types of crypto, and much more. Imagine, folks, Charles Schwab is educating the investors and consumers about crypto. How things have changed. Folks, I got into crypto in 2016. We didn't have stuff like this. It was taboo to even talk about this stuff, to even be associated. Now, everybody's involved. This is the future, the new asset class, the new technology. Blockchain and crypto is the next layer on top of the internet, the movement of value, the ability to transact without a middleman. It's very disruptive. This is why you see the Jamie Dimons and all these guys hate it. They're fighting it. But as we've talked about many times, we are in the then they fight you phase, and then you win. Prior to the then they fight you is they laugh at you, and then of course they ignore you. So it's a beautiful thing to see this play out. These principles, regardless of what technology it is, have played out throughout human history and civilization. And those getting disrupted, of course, they fight because they don't like it. But disruptive technology always wins. Whether it was electricity and light bulb disrupting the candle and lantern makers, the automobile disrupting the horse and buggy folks, the internet disrupting communication and the ability for us to communicate online and move information and the phone book and all that stuff, right? You guys know about all that. It's incredible to watch these things happen. Here's some more info on BlackRock's Bitcoin Spot ETF, which now has $2 billion of assets under management. The fund now holds nearly 50,000 Bitcoin after adding almost another 4,300 tokens on Thursday. So speaking of this past week. So incredible, right? BlackRock and a lot of these Wall Street firms are like vacuums sucking up all the Bitcoin out of the market. You have the halving coming up where the supply gets cut in half. This is all good, regardless of if you hold Bitcoin or not. It's good for altcoins because we've seen the liquidity flow from Bitcoin down to the altcoins. Bitcoin is kind of the brand that brings people into the market for the most part. And then they discover that, hey, I can diversify into different altcoins, and different cryptocurrencies and blockchains do different things. So incredible stuff. Now, Enter Google. So tomorrow, Monday, January 29th, will be a big day for Google as they are updating their crypto advertising policies. So Bitcoin ETF ads may appear on Google starting Monday, community speculates. The crypto community is pondering the potential impact on the spot Bitcoin ETFs given Google's handling of 100,000 searches per second. So on Monday, January 29th, once again, tomorrow, Google is set to update its policies to allow certain cryptocurrency products to be advertised on major search engines. Bitcoin exchange traded funds, ETFs, appear likely to meet the criteria, sparking speculation within the crypto industry. I could absolutely see this because remember, many of these big brands like Fidelity, BlackRock, and Bitwise and so forth, they've already been green lighted as companies to advertise. So now offering an ETF, which is, of course, one of the safest ways to invest, and Google has already green-lighted other ETFs already, I think it's logical that we can see these Bitcoin spot ETF ads. Now, will it actually launch tomorrow? Tomorrow? No, but maybe this week, right? It's not actually hard to launch a Google AdWords campaign, paid search campaigns. I've done that in my digital marketing background. It's usually, have these companies already set up their pipeline to handle the leads that are coming in, the customers and the traffic. And the other part of that is they're educating the RIAs and the wealth managers. So very bullish, folks. And Google, they're not stupid. They're in the business of making revenue off of advertisers. They see this opportunity, and the biggest players in the world, like BlackRock, are involved. So there's a lot of marketing budget that's going to go towards this. Exciting times, folks. And look at the timing, right? The start. Well, one could argue the bull market started last year, but phase two, I think we're entering phase two now of the Bitcoin bull market and crypto bull market. This year is the one that leads up to next year, which is usually where we have the blow off top. So exciting times, folks. Now, got some news here about crypto fundraising, and I usually share this with you guys every week as capital flows into the crypto market. Many of these investment firms are buying the tokens as well as investing in the companies building the infrastructure of the market. So much has been made of growing investor interest in integrations between AI and crypto, but it was the less novel narrative of zero knowledge proofs that drew significant VC funding this week. ZK proofs allow statements to be proven true without revealing their contents and are popular in layer 2 rollups that scale blockchains. So guys, I think ZK proofs are going to be huge because there has to be an element of privacy and it has to be done in the right way. And when you have institutions and enterprise building on blockchains, they're going to have a need for certain data to be private, right? An example would be like the XRP ledger has side chains and the data there is hidden from the public. And other blockchains do this as well. So I think ZK proofs are going to be critical and so important for the adoption of crypto and blockchains by enterprises. So Standard Crypto and Paradigm led a $20 million Series A round in on-chain infrastructure startup Axiom. Axiom uses zero knowledge to help Ethereum smart contracts parse data at a lower cost. It's a new application to a popular concept of using zero knowledge to scale Ethereum. Let's jump ahead here. Delphi Ventures led $5 million seed round in Zorp, which is building a personal sovereignty focused blockchain using ZK proofs. And here are the rest of the funding news. A subsidiary of the spot Bitcoin ETF provider VanEck led a strategic investment in data firm CC Data. Paper Ventures announced a $25 million blockchain fund. Pantera and Sequoia Capital headline an undisclosed amount of Series B funding for EDX markets. Bloomberg reported the firm said it's building a crypto exchange in Singapore. Amazing what's happening. A16Z-backed crypto payments firm Eco acquired stablecoin shopping app Join. The terms of the deal were undisclosed. And cash handling company Brinks, known for its armored trucks, made an undisclosed strategic investment in institutional custody and trading firm BitGo. Now, I reported on this news this past week. That's Mike Belshe's company. And I'll actually be interviewing Mike Belshe soon. As soon as I heard the news, I was like, Mike, I got to get you back on. And remember, Mike is one of the Netscape guys. He was there with Mark Andreessen and all the others. So he came from Web 1.0, and a lot of these guys from Web 1.0 and 2.0 are here in Web 3, folks. Incredible stuff. Now, a quick word from our sponsor, and that is Uphold. Uphold is a great crypto platform. I've been using them since 2018. You can buy Bitcoin, altcoins, and they have 260 plus cryptocurrencies on the platform. Folks, you can also trade precious metals on here: gold, silver, palladium, platinum, and things along those lines. They have a great, easy to use app. They're available in over 150 countries. They have a lot of fiat currencies that they support. And best of all, folks, they are fully transparent. You can go review their transparency report, their audits, and all that jazz. They don't commingle or lend out your funds and all that nonsense. So once again, I can vouch for this platform because I've been using them since 2018. I've used them in many different ways. And if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, please visit the link in the description. Now, we got an update here around Stellar. Many of you know about the Stellar Lumens network, which has the token XLM. Well, Stellar Foundation urges delay of Protocol 20 upgrade after bug discovery. The Stellar Development Foundation acknowledged the bug poses little risk, but said it could potentially impact applications once the smart contract platform is rolled out. So I've interviewed some folks from Stellar, and I think the most recent one was last year in Q3. I had Tomer, if I remember the guy's name, on the podcast, and we talked about the launch of smart contracts on the platform and much more. I do hold some XLM tokens, not a lot, so I'm diversified, guys. So I'm certainly hoping XLM does well. And the weird thing we've seen in the market, the correlation between XRP and XLM. When XRP pumps, XLM usually pumps too. It's just fascinating how that happens. But just a note here that they have this little bug they have to address. Now, guys, interviews, I got Sandy Call of Franklin Templeton. Yes, the Franklin Templeton, which has launched the Bitcoin Spot ETF. I'll be interviewing her tomorrow, and you don't want to miss that. Aaron Kaplan, I know he's a very controversial figure of Prometheum. I want to get him on to get some insights. What has he been doing with the SEC? What has the SEC been telling him? I also will have John Wu of Avalanche. Yes, AVAX native token. And like I said, Mike Belchi of BitGo, trying to bring you guys some great content. So please support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter, 100% free. Also, please follow me on social networks: TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. All the links will be in the description, guys. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't take $1 out of your pocket. Just a simple follow. It take you like a couple of minutes just to follow me and subscribe and so forth. It really, really helps, folks. I can't stress that enough. And like I said, it's all free. I'm not charging anything. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm just saying, hey, just follow me, right? Where you can. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for watching and listening, and I'll talk to you all later.